you can, because sometimes I feel guilty or I feel bad, like when I've got friends or family members who've got kids, and you feel like you're constantly needing to mention them. Like some of my friends, mention them, I'll be asking them how they are, and I just get random pictures of their kids with like no context whatsoever.
Cool.
Yeah, I was like, I like seeing them,
you.
but I feel like it makes it an awkward conversation, because I'm like, are you sending that to me because I should be constantly asking you about the kids? Like,
yeah,
and then it's such a weird kind of rocky territory, and I don't fully understand it, and I feel like I can't even bring it up to them, because it's always like, well, you don't have kids, you don't understand. It's like,
make me understand then. Like, just vent to me. I'm your friend. Like, it doesn't change the dynamics of a friendship.
Yeah.
Like, do you know? Like, I don't know. I just find that. That's
yeah,
because I never really thought about that, because I'm like the total opposite. I don't have any friends that have kids, like literally, because I find it really hard to be friends with other parents, not because I don't like them. One, I'm really picky about people's kids. Like, if your kid is misbehaving and you don't know how to reprimand them in public or in any situation at all, and they're just like literally kicking you in the shins, I'm not going to hang out with you because your kid sucks. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I have standards when it comes but yeah, I find that and maybe I'm in a sense doing that in reverse. Like, I find it really hard to open up and be like super close to like other parents, because again, all they want to do is talk about either kids or like family, or like, you know what I mean? It's never like real shit. Like, like where if I, like when me and you have conversations, it's like very deep, or like my other friends who don't have kids, because I guess they don't feel like that's all they have to talk about. And so I can never really connect with any, like I'm trying to think of any parents that I'm actually really good. I've got like one parent group, like parents that I really, really love, and they're great. They're really funny because we chat about other things. But yeah, Aldous is 8, and I still haven't really found like any parents that I could connect with, because I just found like there was no deeper connection. Like, there was just the kids, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Like, yeah, which is just really interesting as well, that people would be treating you differently, especially your friends. Like, yeah.
That's actually a really interesting perspective. I've never even thought about it like that, because yeah, whenever me and Melanie hang out, it's just, I never think about the fact that you have kids or that you're a mum. But then the other day I looked after Melanie's kids, and then I had a realization. I was like, holy shit, Melanie's a mum. Like, she actually, on top of what we're doing, has another job, like full-time job. Yeah. Which I think it kind of like put a lot of things into perspective, like having even looked after them for one evening, how much you have to do, but you don't talk about them all the time. It's like, it's more, like if something really nice happened, or like something quite wholesome, you'll tell me about it, but it's never been like an overwhelming part of our friendship.
Yeah. Because like it's a constant in my life. So it's just like, the kids are like, they're a constant. Like, so if I were to talk about every single moment or second that happens with them, it would just be nonstop overwhelming. And it's not like I come to my friends for me. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not coming to them to just, like, you guys know my life. Like, like I'm coming to like, to vent, to chill, to like have a break, or like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's for my time. Like, if I have times whenever I invite people over, like friends over, because again, all my friends don't have kids, so it's really fun having a party with the kids because they are the center of the tension. And it's like, and it's like all my friends are just like always like, hey, like always like, that's really so fun.
They actually, I think, will grow up in a different way as well, because they keep, like, a lot of their friends are your friends. And then they're surrounded by new kind of like perspectives, opinions, and and
I still have like play dates obviously with them, and I bring them to every party that they get invited to, and I do all the chats with the parents at the parks and all of that. But again, I like feel like it's when people become moms, they feel like they can only be friends with other moms, like, and I just think it's kind of sad, because like, you don't have to give up anything when you become a mom. You can have your kids and still be yourself. but it's just you have to just delegate more time for a period to, like, your purpose has to become your kids, like, for sure. Like, and that's why I feel super, like, stressed about thinking about having more, because then I, like, obviously we're starting this, and then I would have to make that decision where I, like, said to Maggie, I was like, I won't work, like, because I can't multitask when it comes to working and having kids and feel like I've fulfilled my child's needs fully. Like, and why do something if you're going to do it, like, as my mom said, don't do something if you're going to do it half-assed.
Yeah.
So don't be a half-assed parent. Like, you know, do it all the way or don't do it at all. Like, yeah. And again, if you get to that point where you can foster and adopt, that's like me, that's like dreams and goals. Like, yeah, like I would love to do that. But because then you're giving someone a home that, like, really, really, really needs it, rather than just filling this social pressure of just trying to fill a home with kids. Like, oh, you live in a big house? Fill it up with kids.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
That was the first thing. As soon as Chris and I moved, we moved to a 3-bed house, and it was like, oh, when's the baby due? There'll be a pitter patter feet soon. I was like, yay, a dog.
Yay.
But yeah, it is one of those, like, just pressures with it. And I think I actually agree with you. Like, I think that's another thing that scares me, is that I would love, like, I'm not obsessed with my career. Like, I like my job. I love my job.
Yeah.
I really love what I'm doing. I wouldn't say I'm a career-driven person, so I can't even use it as an excuse not to have kids.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm really obsessed with my career, and I could do my career and have kids.
Yeah.
But in reality, I don't think I could, because I already get drained not having children, having a dog, being married and having a job. Like, there's no way I could then add in a child to that and be able to just maintain and function well, because I struggle enough as it is. And I think it would be given up my career, that something that I love.
You
and
have
again,
to give something up. Yeah.
And it's my identity, and it's one of my favourite prized identities, being able to go into my job and do what I'm good at. And I could do what I'm good at, working with, well, looking after kids as well. I just then feel, again, going back to feel like I'm turning into my mum, and I'm then losing my independence in a way, because obviously if you're taking time out of your career, you're having to rely on someone to support you. That can be in the government, likely my husband, obviously. And I just think that then it scares me, the idea of, since I've worked since I was 11, to then not work for a time. And then it's not, and it is, you are working, of course it's a full-time job.
It's different though,
but it's
you're stuck at home, you can't leave. In a way.
And I'm not a hugely social person. Like, I'm not very introverted, I'm a social introvert, so I get drained really easily. And the idea of having to go to, like, play dates all the time and having small talk about your kids. And do you know what I don't get? You might be able to answer this. I don't understand why people are obsessed with, first of all, the weight of the baby.
Oh my god, right?
And, like, just, like, milestones that all, like, I understand it's a big deal for your child, but, like, everyone will eventually, unless there's an issue, will learn to walk and talk. And, like, by the time they get to school, they're all doing it. I'm like, who cares if little Jimmy did it first? I'm like, I don't get it. And people are like, so-and-so's done this. I'm like, okay. Like, my family, my siblings are like that. I'm like, so-and-so did this first, so-and-so did that. It's like, and I just don't understand it. I'm like, why is this a weird competition? It doesn't really matter.
Funnily enough, like, actually, that brought some flashbacks back. Because I was the youngest in my family, I was constantly compared to all of the kids in the family, and then they thought I was dumb, and that I wasn't, that I was, like, they basically thought I had developmental problems, because they were comparing me to a kid that was 4 years older than me and 2 years older than me, and they were like, why can't Maggie read? But you're comparing me to someone who's 4 years older than me. That's why I can't read.
They had those two as practice.
Yeah.
You should have been doing it by one.
Yeah,
no,
literally. Yeah, so that definitely, I think, affected me in my life, like, constantly hearing that comparison.
Yeah.
And, well, but I know what you mean. Like, as a baby, like, my mum was actually talking about how when she just had a child and she had her friends, all they talk about is, like, their baby's poo consistency and stuff. Like, she pooped like this today. She did this today, you know?
Like, oh my God, kill me.
And like,
Yeah.
and I know you will do it. Like, you will
Yeah.
need that, because I mean, obviously, I've got a dog. I'm not comparing a dog to a child whatsoever. I've looked after
animals are
dogs.
babies though. Like they are. Like my cat is my little baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a mom to Zeus,
Yeah.
my cat.
Yeah.
When we first got Odin last year,
Name.
and he was like obviously tiny, so you could probably compare him in comparison to a toddler that I've looked
Yeah.
after. So the toddlers I've looked after in my family, and it's like you have to constantly keep an eye on him, make sure he's not like ruining the house, and he wakes up at night, you know, you're not getting great sleep. And I got a snippet of what my life would be like if I had a kid then, because again, I would refuse to give up my job, because that's the one thing that's just truly mine, and I'd need that, because that's my identity. And you know, I was getting ready for work, and I was just thinking, I'm just like knackered, like I can't do this. But then as soon as I was going to work, I find myself like finding every opportunity to talk about and be like, any people like okay, Karla, that's a dog, like stop. But I'm like, oh, you do this, oh, you do that. And it's like, oh yeah, Odin's great. Or anytime someone asks me like, how's the dog? Well, and I'd be like going and I did. I caught myself. I was like, I can understand it, especially like the first few years where it's like really that is they are only living and breathing and eating because you're there and you're there to support them. So I can understand why it comes up. I don't know what my point was with this, but yeah, going back to so having different types of friends, and